This pipeline represents the foundation of the modern AI industry. For years, advanced AI moved through one direct connection. OpenAI built the models, and Microsoft provided the cloud infrastructure needed to bring those models to the world. As this diagram shows, the flow was simple and linear. OpenAI created the frontier AI models, while Microsoft supplied the massive computing power through Azure. It was a deeply connected partnership. OpenAI gained access to huge amounts of computing power, and Azure became the main gateway for businesses that wanted to use OpenAI's technology. But by early 2026, the AI industry had grown too large for this simple setup. These staggering numbers, an $852 billion valuation and $122 billion in committed capital, show a company that has moved far beyond its early days as a small research lab. To keep growing at this level, OpenAI needs access to money, hardware, and infrastructure on a global scale. At this point, OpenAI can no longer depend on the resources of just one cloud provider. That pressure led to the amended agreement in April 2026. As this new map shows, OpenAI is now moving out of Microsoft's shadow and spreading its infrastructure across a wider group of partners. The new deal reflects OpenAI's need for more independence. OpenAI has officially secured multi-cloud status, which means it can now work with AWS and Google Cloud. At the same time, Microsoft's access to OpenAI's technology is now non-exclusive. This move allows OpenAI to follow its customers. By breaking through the Azure-only barrier, OpenAI can now bring its enterprise tools and AI agents directly to the cloud platforms where its customers already store their data. The era of a simple one-to-one tech pipeline has reached its limit. If you're getting any value out of this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. So, to support AI at this scale, OpenAI now needs the freedom to use every available source of computing power. This independence is being driven by a major shift in the AI industry. In this new phase, computing power is the physical fuel of the AI economy. That means specialized chips, energy-hungry data centers, and massive server farms are now just as important as the AI models themselves. As models become more advanced, the real-world limits become harder to ignore. As this diagram shows, the software layer depends entirely on a physical foundation: land, cooling systems, data centers, and huge amounts of electricity from the power grid. OpenAI is trying to secure that foundation through Project Stargate, including its massive infrastructure hub in Abilene, Texas. This planned $500 billion investment aims to build 7 gigawatts of power capacity. That is a physical footprint large enough to power millions of homes. OpenAI is now part of an industry-wide race for these resources. This table shows big tech spending projected to reach $600 billion in 2026, with companies like Google and Amazon aggressively expanding their own data centers and custom chip production. The competition has moved into the physical world, with hundreds of billions of dollars at stake. The goal is to secure enough land, electricity, chips, and data center capacity to make sure these AI systems can serve a global user base without breaking down. Microsoft is already moving to protect itself from the risks of OpenAI becoming more independent. The company is making a strategic shift to protect its highly profitable enterprise software business, no matter where OpenAI goes next. Microsoft is now diversifying its AI pipeline by bringing competing models, including models from Anthropic, directly into its ecosystem. This helps Microsoft remain a central hub even as OpenAI branches out. In products like Microsoft 365 Copilot, customers have more control. As this interface shows, users can switch between different AI models based on cost, performance, or what works best for their needs. Microsoft's bigger goal is to own the workplace AI layer. Instead of depending on one AI partner, Microsoft wants to treat these models as flexible parts that can be swapped in and out. For Microsoft, long-term stability now comes from being the platform where every AI model can run, rather than being tied too closely to the future of one company. This shift has created a complicated web of partnerships. This map shows a new reality where competitors also rely on each other's infrastructure just to keep up. Every major player is crossing lines. Google competes with OpenAI, but also supplies it with cloud capacity. Amazon backs Anthropic while also hosting OpenAI's enterprise services. The AI industry is moving toward a much more connected marketplace. As this illustration shows, the idea of one isolated winning model has been replaced by a system of connected platforms that prioritize reliability, uptime, and flexible access. For businesses, this deal creates more flexibility. Companies can now use the AI models that fit their needs without having to move all of their data and infrastructure to a different cloud. For developers and creators, AI tools will continue becoming more deeply integrated into everyday work and daily life. However, the massive cost of computing power means pricing will remain a serious challenge. The amended agreement between Microsoft and OpenAI makes this new industry structure official. The era of simple, isolated corporate partnerships is giving way to overlapping alliances, where every major player is competing for the same limited physical resources. Software intelligence is only one part of the equation. In the end, true industry power may belong to whoever controls the physical compute.